Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome back to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. So Mavia just released their 2025 roadmap. There is a lot to unpack here, so I definitely want to take my time and go through everything, give you guys my insight. But just a quick mention before we jump into it, I want to make sure that you guys are using creator code GROTH in game. It really helps out. We use 100% of those proceeds to go towards events and other things within the Alliance and Mavia as a whole. It's completely free to do. You just have to go into your settings, put in GROTH, and it means a lot to me. And obviously it shows your support. It's completely free to do. So with that said, let's get into the roadmap so I can start unpacking this for you guys. Here we are. We can see it's building the ultimate game ecosystem, AI-driven and cross-game interoperability. Now, I like that they have the AI-driven aspect there that's tying into a narrative that has a lot of mindshare right now. Awesome. The revolutionary Next Era, DAEP. So I guess Next Era is kind of the new flagship name for the DAEP. I almost relate it to like the name of Ronin, for like the whole ecosystem. So powering the future of Web3 gaming. And then we can see Q1. So this is already gone. Successful launch of the marketplace. That did happen. Full marketplace market maker operations. Yep. Development of the Next Era DAPE concepts and models. And then the documentation and UX UI design. They said that they did game balancing, game optimizations, and they had level rewards season 1. Awesome. So that we're past that. Moving on to Q2, which is what we're currently in. They talked about phased migration of Mavia Marketplace to the Next Era DAPE and in-game currency swap of Ruby 1.0 to 2.0. Now it's important to note that's a 10-to-1 conversion. So if you have 10 Ruby, you're going to get 1 of the new Ruby 2.0. Because it's happening to everyone across the board, it does not make any difference. They're not taking away Ruby. It's happening to everyone. So I'm excited for it. I think it's good. It's going to be easier numbers to deal with. Really, it shouldn't impact the prices of anything. Everything just goes down by 10. They talk about rigorous migration testing, post-migration optimization, and we could see the Ruby 2.0 happen any day now, actually. Like, I don't think this is something that has to necessarily wait. Now, one thing that a lot of people, you guys are excited about is the weekly tournament. We don't know what this looks like. I'm hoping it has to do with your current base and maybe a matchmaking system. That's my best guess, because they could use the Ruby Battles matchmaking system, but let us pair with our real bases. And I'll give you an example. Say you pair blind, you pick one of your 3 base presets, and then you pick one of your 3 army presets, and then you just attack each other. That would be amazing. It would also make it so that your base progression matters. They do talk about the next season and level rewards. Not sure what that means exactly. Leaderboard, it could be the solo leaderboard, or it could be a new leaderboard for the weekly tournaments. Alliance donation, this is super interesting because I think of it as clan castles in Clash of Clans, right? These are troops that we're going to be able to receive in our castle or whatever kind of structure that ends up being, and they're going to help us defend our base. So this is actually going to be a nice change to the meta, to defense strategies. We're going to have to do a lot of testing, see what troops work for what. Yeah, I think this is going to be a ton of fun for them to finally add that in. And I'm excited how it's going to impact the meta. And then in-game event Earth Day, which I believe is around the 22nd of April. So it's interesting because the Earth Day thing is at the bottom of the list. So I don't think these are necessarily in order as per date, because we might get the Earth Day event sooner than like the Alliance donation or even the weekly tournaments. Then moving into Q3 is talking about the beta launch of the Next Era DAPE. Staggered release of 5 new flagship games. So that means we're going to start to see maybe the first game. Really interested in that. I mean, I'm definitely going to try all these other games. Mavia is still where I'm going to spend most of my time, but I at least want to explore and figure these other ones out. They talk about post-launch optimization and scale operations. We get HQ10. Now this is interesting, guys, because this is the longest gap we'll have had between HQs. Take advantage of it. If you can still spend the time to get max before Q3, do it, because most of you guys have not been able to keep up with the pace of new HQs. And I notice a lot of you don't have your heroes quite done, or maybe your walls, or there's a couple things left when the new HQ comes out, and you're forced to go up immediately because you want the new Ruby amount. So take advantage of this kind of lull between HQs right now. It's not going to happen again. Then level rewards season 3, they talk about new heroes and weapons. Now it's interesting because weapons were mentioned once with hats as being a cosmetic thing. That's what I think they're going to be, but at the same time, it's Mavia. Maybe they want to make something different than the other base builder games, so it would be interesting to see if weapons are actually, like maybe you can have a blaze with 3 different weapons, a ranger with 3 different weapons. Balancing would be a nightmare, so that's why I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it is just going to be cosmetic, or maybe heroes can have different weapons. Maybe that's why they put it with new heroes. So we're not 100% sure on that. It could either be weapons for all units, weapons for heroes, or cosmetics. Then they talk about in-game event World Chocolate Day. I don't know what the date of that is supposed to be. Now, it's interesting because for Easter, I know all of us got our hopes up for the candy skin. But seeing World Chocolate Day, I feel like, if they don't do it on Easter, well, they might do it on World Chocolate Day then. Then we're also going to get the Lucky Wheel. I really enjoyed testing this in the dev build. I think it's going to be cool. I'm sure there's a lot more changes that they've made to it since. And then moving into Q4, it says official release and global launch event, full integration, use case expansion and community engagement. So I'm curious about the community engagement thing. I wonder if that's like the new Pioneer season airdrop that we've kind of got teased before. Infrastructure scaling and advanced features. Don't know what advanced features mean. That's kind of a wide net that they cast there, but it definitely could be a lot of different things. Then you can see we're going to get HQ 11. So we're kind of back to our regular rate where it's like you've got maybe 3-4 months in between HQs. I actually think this is going to be a more challenging gap to bridge, is you're going to have to really push hard on HQ 10 to be prepared for HQ 11 when it comes out. Then Level Reward Season 4, we're also going to get the NFT crafting, combine and create. We don't have too many details on that. They did talk about before having like blueprints or recipes, and then you would need like a combination of NFTs in order to make a new one. Don't really know, like, is it going to be specific? Like you need one of these, 2 out of these 3, and it might be like an Inferno Brute, Super Malvian Engineer Hut, or will it be more generic, like any Engineer NFT or any Brute NFT or any consumable? We really have no clue. But it's interesting. I know people are kind of formulating different strategies right now, and some of them are buying out the other skins. Some of them are trying to get a whole collection of all the old stuff just to be prepared. So nobody really knows what the right strategy is to prepare for that. So maybe just think about it a little bit and see what, resonates with you. Then they talk about land trading integration. Now this is interesting because this is basically the ability to sell and trade land on the marketplace on Nexria, which is awesome. I think this is going to be a huge bridge because we all suspect that these lands are going to be impactful for these other flagship games. And then they did hint on their Twitter that the potential for land renting could come with the trading integration. So that's what most people asked about, why land renting wasn't on here. So they said, no, yeah, it could be. And then the most exciting thing is the very last on the list. It's Alliance War. And you guys know how I feel about this. This is literally the last thing needed to complete the game. Then we can have a fully ready esports Web3 mobile experience. So I am freaking stoked. In Clash of Clans, when they had wars in the beginning of the game, the community was the one that created the entire esports scene. Supercell didn't do anything. They had like very little content coming out, no support whatsoever. There wasn't a way to get a hold of them or fix issues. And there was a vibrant esports community that got created just because we had the ability to pair against other clans. So this is going to be amazing because, like I said, this is the last key feature. It's a core feature of base builder games, and we've been missing it up to this point. So, all of a sudden you got to get your base going. You got to make sure you're focused on progressing again. This has really breathed a lot more life into Mavia, I guess you could say, because we've got the weekly tournaments that could happen anytime. Want to get your base max to prepare for that. We also know HQ10 is coming, and then of course Alliance Wars. So yeah, I'm freaking stoked. Now quickly, I want to show you guys a poll that I ran. I asked people out of 4 choices what they were most excited about when it came to the roadmap. Okay, so we can see here we had 54 votes. Wars definitely won with 40%, but weekly tournaments were next. And then it was interesting. There were some people who were most excited about the heroes and weapons and crafting system. So it is going to seem kind of like a little bit of a mix. But wars are definitely the thing that most people are excited about. So I'm really stoked for this. I think Mavia did a great job with the roadmap. I'm looking forward to seeing all these features, and I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on this? How do you feel? What are you most excited about? Leave a comment down below. And I just want to say thanks so much for spending time with me today and coming to the channel. And be subscribed if you're not. Definitely makes a huge difference for us here on the team. It shows that you appreciate our content. Do me a last favor and just smash that like button so we can get this out to more people. Okay, see y'all in the next video. Cheers.